Yeah,
Busio look for the Bard
it's
here.
Busio's Bard as well. He is so incredibly good
Bard,
at this champion.
Ezreal, Anivia, boom.
And
Bard,
understandable
Ezreal,
pickup.
Anivia,
That's paired
boom.
alongside the Ezreal as well for Caliste.
Very winning
that he has
draft.
had so much success on so far this tournament. That is a phenomenal core to start things off for KC in this draft.
I mean, it was the main reason
Ezreal,
that
send
KC
it.
was able to win
Ezreal.
game number 2 against T1 was Busio
Ezreal.
on Bard and Caliste on Ezreal. Busio had like 6 kills on the Bard. He was just roaming around the map, doing so much work.
The enemy will take
And
Ezreal
there's
now.
Anivia for kyeahoo up against this Cassiopeia.
Yo,
But now
Ezreal.
Lucid gets his hands on the Jarvan.
Yeah, and now you could go Jarvan Ezreal here, in theory.
You could.
Pick it away.
You could also.
I think
go
they
for
should
the
have taken
Gnar pick,
Ezreal.
because some of those answers have been taken away.
Because I think Caliste
here,
wants to
and just
play
go for
Caitlyn
your soul
into it
lane
if they pick it
lock-up and
away.
look for smash and career based on.
But if you go
rest of
Ezreal
the
Karma
draft
here,
for Dplus Kia, I think the
I think it
Jarvan
would
is
be
the
good
most
draft for
likely
Dplus
pick here.
Kia.
I like the Gnar because then you get to keep the Cassioflex as well. And because, as you
I
say,
think you
so
slam
many of the
Ezreal
picks are
Karma
out,
and call it a
I
day,
think it's
bro.
a really smart strategy if DK decide to go for it, especially considering Canna is the Gnar guy, you know?
Yeah, it just feels like a great denial pick here, all things considered. One that I think would be quite strong. Siwoo, not known necessarily for his Gnar play, nowhere near players like Canna or Zeus on this pick, but definitely one he's played a lot in the past. He's been great at shutting it down as well. I think he's a little bit more famous.
He's more
for
of an
that.
anti-Gnar rather than the actual Gnar player
With
himself.
Vayne
But he
now,
has had some
Jace
games on it,
out.
of course. There is that Ezreal that we were talking about.
Very
Great
hard
into the
Cassie game here to
Jarvan
play,
as
guys.
well,
Very
so
hard
it really
Cassie game to
does
play.
feel like it serves double duty. Not only is it a great lane alongside the Bard, but you can get out of a Cataclysm, which is going to feel great. And Caliste, pretty good at this particular champion.
Caliste can definitely be happy, but Canna might be a bit worried now as they get 2 bans to invest into Canna to take away any sort of Gnar answer he would have. I'm assuming maybe something like
My
the
Nan is
Ambessa
locked in a
ban, or you
cage.
can go
She's
even
not coming
further,
out
try to
unless
allow
Casey
even
wins the
more
series.
range tops, but I feel like since we've left the Tristana and Vayne, probably just banning out more generic bruisers that Canna could pick at
Lucian Karma ban.
Varus and Twisted Fate.
Varus? Actually, Canna does play the Varus. I
think they should have taken Ezreal away, bro. I think
he doesn't play
KC's
that
1, 2,
well.
3 is absurdly
But
strong.
Bruiser junglers
Very
feels
strong.
good too, because they don't really have a backbone of their composition just yet. So taking away the Xin feels really good here. They have the
This
Jarvan
might
on
just
their
be
side.
a little winner for
Obviously
Dplus.
no Lee Sin,
I mean,
no
for
Skarner.
KC.
So we'll see what Yike is looking for in this draft. We saw the Kiana paired with this Anivia in that semifinal match to great success, but I don't think this is necessarily that kind of draft. Nautilus is gone. I think that's a great ban here because it's one of the best
Play
ways to
LeBlanc,
lock an
bro. Change
Ezreal
your sign.
down
It's banned, lady.
guaranteed in a team fight.
It was an incredibly similar draft that Yike played the Kiana, though. It was literally these first 3 picks, and Casey decided, we're not going to have a front line. We're just going to play this like a pick comp and just put up the Anivia wall, put the Kiana
I think
wall,
banning
put the Temple
Nautilus
Fate from
when you're
Bard,
floating
smoke you out
Anivia,
from range and never give
not
you
even
that
floating,
normal
you're showing
standard team
Anivia.
fight, and they were able to execute
I think
it against
Nautilus
T1.
cannot play
So
the
I feel
game
like
against Anivia.
doubling
could,
down on it,
yeah.
I
But
would
to
like
be
to
fair,
So we're all on the same
my
page here, I
team-
think.
I guess.
Los Ratones, we were
We'll
banning
see what
Nautilus no
KC
matter what.
decide to do now.
That was our
They really
biggest
do
trauma,
need
champ.
Something explosive here.
We were
for
banning
setup.
Nautilus even when we had
And
Mundo and
Is it
Anivia
just
on the team.
Varus? I actually really wouldn't mind it for Canna towards that top side of the map, and you can pick it away. Otherwise, Smash might be able to take that himself.
Such a
Obviously,
squishy
locking in a jungler does give you the ability to understand exactly what you're up against and then pick
Naafiri.
accordingly for the top side. That is what they're looking at.
fulfills a similar role as the Kiana. Your goal is to just one-shot whatever target you first come across. I like the fact that they're delaying top until 5, because that way Canna can see all 5 champions here and lock in something that's good. The worry I have about Varus is I feel like if Canna makes one mistake, Lucid can just camp top and make him completely irrelevant in the game, especially if DK decides to look at a strong bot.
Okay,
lane.
Karma
Three
coming
strong
through.
options here.
I'm not a big fan of the Naafiri, guys.
When I say it, but there's
But
the Caitlyn. There's the Varus that you.
I don't
play
have
with the
any
Ezreal, and there's
crazy
also the
answers
Caliste.
outside of
I feel
that.
Like when you have this Cassiopeia,
Lux.
you could have looked for a winning Caliste.
Pick Karma,
But
career.
instead,
Pick Karma.
Caitlyn Lux.
You don't
want
wanna play Lux.
For career, we've seen this before.
Karma,
And
Karma,
Smash is an
Karma,
amazing
Karma,
Caitlyn player, picked up the slack, in the
Comedian.
challenger
Come and
squad,
go.
swapping between Guma obviously as well, and
You
learn from the best,
come
right?
and
Yeah, back on
go.
T1. Very, very strong
Lux is
on
locked
this
in.
pick, and it is going to be a risky mid game with this. But when we get to the late game with 3 scaling options here, including the
That's
Gnar,
not crazy, but
Dplus
they
have
just
a
pick
lot of
Renekton
late game
anyway.
power.
I imagine a lot of the EU fans understand just how good Smash is.
Olaf.
This is the new. This is the new Gnar counter
Canna
pick. It's
Olaf.
kind of coming up. It's a thing.
Yeah, this is going to be very exciting to see whether KC can play through Canna towards that top side. But we do have Ian standing alongside who's managed to find an absolute prophet in the audience.
Absolutely, of course there's an overwhelming amount of KC support in here. That's obvious, we're in Paris. But DK has its fans too. DK fans, how we doing? They're feeling good. They're feeling good.
Did she just do 6-7?
Wow, this is loud down here.
I think Dplus is gonna lose the series because of that.
Listen, you've got an amazing story because you downloaded the EWC app and you made a prediction a while ago. What did you predict?
So basically, there's an EWC app which is super awesome, and they closed their entry for the Pick'em tournament winner this Tuesday. And who I picked? Of course, it's Dplus Kia with 0% selection. I can show you.
So you knew right from the start you
She
had
made
so
8
much
accounts.
belief in this team. Now, you
She
are
made
in a very
8 accounts.
hostile environment. The French are loud and proud. How intimidating are they?
Well, I don't really hear anything, to be honest, isn't it? To be honest, everyone knows that ShowMaker is good at where he is facing the home ground. So, you know what? Today's gonna be the Paris
KC Library.
We all know this, right?
They said it's going to be a Paris library in here by the end of the match. Let's see what happens and keep on moving.
Oh my goodness, that was I was a little bit scared for that little section of the audience, but managed to make it through that entire interview. And here we are, ready to get onto the Rift for game number 2 of this best of 5 to see who is going to be able to lift this EWC trophy. And here we go. All right, Casey, I do like this draft a little bit better, but I also feel like DK kind of had the answers once again. The Gnar lock-in definitely working out, but
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
towards the top side,
I'm kind of liking the conclusion of Casey's draft.
Is off to a good early game. He can really take over team fights.
But I don't know how much I like the Olaf and the Naafiri. I think it adds risk to game.
Cataclysm, but that's not who you want the Jarvan ulting in a team fight. So I feel like if Canna is able
She
to
got
find
paid more than Casey players, the Damon players. Yeah.
To really stop this bot lane. That's why you're playing Caitlyn Lux. You pick this Lux over the Karma to go for the flash Q level 1 to really get plates, to get strong, because 20 minutes into the game, you'd always rather have the Karma with the Mantra shields and the movement speed that she provides, but Lux provides more early game pressure, so it's up to Career to make that happen.
Yeah. See how this top lane goes, because we've seen this
it's not like the greatest Olaf game, you know, it's not the biggest value.
It's more pivotal here at level 1, but it's been a matchup we've talked about so much more recently. You know, Atlus and I were talking about the first time we saw this.
Flash Q level 1, did he talk about doing that in this matchup? Whose draft you like?
It hasn't worked out that way. ShowMaker's going to take a huge
I don't know.
here, but we'll be fine.
I like Casey out of the 1, 2, 3, but I think now they have a lot of risk in the draft.
You run at the Gnar, you've got Ghost. ShowMaker continue to trade level 2.
Yeah,
Holy ShowMaker, bro. ShowMaker's just fucking clean this tournament, bro.
Yeah, he might have just been dead. Is drinking his potion, though. ShowMaker doing the same thing. The Snake Lady definitely feeling very comfortable at this stage of the matchup. Wave is going to crash towards the turret, though, and it looks like kyeahoo is going to be all right for the minute. Yike on his Wolves now, as the Raptors have now been taken. Whoa!
Wow.
The flash out of the way here from ShowMaker, avoiding the stun out of this
Damn.
Anivia.
Okay.
I think keep health. I think they want to challenge jungle here with the prio that ShowMaker has.
I think ShowMaker thought that
Well done by kyeahoo to recover this. Is he going to Q flash?
Lucid is roaming here, but Lucid is trying to sneak away the Krugs. I wonder if Yike will... Does he know? He seems to know.
He knows.
Yeah, he's just immediately
He
going to bounce over. There
knows.
is the smite from
Wow,
Lucid.
Lucid
Finds
gets
the
all
cube
of them
for
almost.
Most of the little rocks there as well. So a decent early start here for DK, but I'm worried with that flash being down from ShowMaker in the mid lane.
ShowMaker didn't buy boots. I mean, he didn't buy a tier. He got boots.
Could be
I
absolutely
just don't know if
deadly.
he's going to get to roam that much in this matchup, though. He's kind of locked in right now as Smash and Career going to crash this giant
this has no
wave,
TP.
and they know that Naafiri's top, so they can sit on this
He's stuck
lane.
here in this lane
If you don't know
forever.
where the Naafiri is, you got to be cautious here, but because they do know, they're taking plate money.
One thing that's really nice
Tough.
about this Lux pick is as the Ezreal in this lane, you'd really want to go to teleport so that you can get a free recall early on. But if you go teleport against the Lux, you're so vulnerable to that flash cosmic binding. So that's why Caliste ends up going
Lucid
for the cleanse,
takes
which means
Gromp
it's a
and then
hard
goes
early
to
laning
Crab.
phase for him.
It doesn't have teleport, doesn't have
It's gonna get level
barrier
4.
either, obviously combat-wise, so just very
ShowMaker has no
vulnerable in this early
flash.
game. As they're looking
I
to
don't know how
punish this
Kyeahoo is so low
flashless
HP.
Cassiopeia, but ShowMaker is very aware of it and is willing to sacrifice a little bit of lane here.
I think ShowMaker sniffs this out, bro. ShowMaker knows.
300 less HP. So
I don't know why Yike doesn't channel recall. He's just wasting time.
Yike needs to try to cross mid lane here and get that bot crab, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to get it just due to how strong
ShowMaker has recovered the lane so hard after that TP.
They're just getting miasma, taking a lot of damage here. Does still have the egg, which is why he can still play a little bit further forward, but might need to invite the doggo to come back.
I know Yike's tempo is so cooked.
Try and keep him alive. That will be that crab going down.
They're looking for the invade. Bard is going to have to click here.
Lucid.
Mid situation, so volatile.
Look to pick up his raptor camp when it is respawning.
Canna's having a rough time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not feeling great at this stage of the matchup. Oh, dear,
Ooh, the stun is nice.
By these daggers.
Look at that Conqueror fully stacking instantly.
Onto the Jarvan, gets a return as well.
Career level 4 looks is so strong.
Those twin fangs does manage to respawn. Now back to not a very
Canna
high
looking for an all-in. Siwoo gets the bounce.
Damage does come through.
This looks like a kill to me. Looks like a kill to me. Canna.
Kill for Canna.
And that's why you picked the Olaf. Canna lands every undertow, flashes after Siwoo. He was struggling in the early game down in CS, but now getting the solo kill, he can crash the wave and finally make some use out of this Olaf.
Has it before level 6. Just hits the right, he finds the right window there. It's enough damage and pops the ghost. So you can see right now, obviously a little bit low on health, but that's where Olaf wants to thrive here. Knows he can come in. Yes, there's going to be a hyper proc here. He tries to go.
Bro, I don't know. Olaf has so much damage on Q. What the fuck, bro? Olaf's damage is so high.
And he picks up a massive win here. First blood for KC.
You have to feel the crowd having his back is helping him revitalize, especially when you're playing Olaf. I feel like
he had
Olaf
to E on the range
champion,
minion, then bounce back instantly when the Q hit, and Olaf was posturing.
Even when you're low, even when you're struggling. As Busio wants to try to get a chunk on ShowMaker here.
No, it's like Olaf and Naafiri, if they get ahead, they're OP in this game. I'm just like in draft, I just didn't like that they added risk.
I feel like ShowMaker,
because I think out of the 1, 2, 3, they were so far ahead.
Especially game 1 as well.
So anything stable would have been great.
Maybe I jinxed them now.
Perhaps Lucid is up here towards his top side. ShowMaker just going to slink on
ShowMaker has not been punished for the lack of flash.
Able to quite find the value here.
Yeah. And a 2v2, ShowMaker's ult way more valuable than the Anivia's as well in that type of exchange.
Caliste is not having fun.
As soon as that's hit, it's just best.
But eventually this Lux will be so useless.
Here, though, for Lucid top side, he's got so much deep vision.
So useless.
And he's going to wrap back around. Meanwhile, Busio trying to find an angle here, but Smash and Career too safe.
And Busio needs to be careful because he's paying a price every single time he goes for these roles.
ShowMaker has wasted so much of Busio and Yike's time. He's doing a really good job.
Smash. And if Busio continues roaming like this, suddenly Caitlyn can take that bot tower, swap up into top lane, and just explode the whole game.
Yeah, we see that oftentimes, especially if a gank goes off, you see a dive, then that
Crab into Dragon's going to be juicy, bro.
Patching holes elsewhere on the map. We'll be losing this Scuttle. And right now, this timing, they're looking to potentially start this Dragon, but they do not have a ton of control just yet.
Yeah,
okay.
and Busio are in the area.
I think you reset this and do blue and call it a day, bro.
Cloud Drake being started potentially by Yike. ShowMaker going to be catching this wave though, and tempo advantage does go towards KC, using that for a reset for the Anivia. And Career and Smash just continuing to walk towards this turret in the bottom lane and remove crockery every single time. Plates going over. That's a third one here in Smash's back pocket, moving him up to a 450 gold lead.
DK need to be a bit careful in bot lane though. They still don't have a ward. I was going to say that Yike's about to hit level 6, but he just decides to clear his topside camps. So there's not going to be a gank there available. Just wants to clear all those. And wait, ShowMaker and Yike are going to find each other.
Bit of an interesting maneuver here.
ShowMaker's
not sure where he's going.
Wrapped all the way around here.
So I think, did Yike? I don't know if Yike spotted him. I think he was maybe in the bush. Otherwise, I feel like Yike would have tried to chase him, delay his tempo, not let him recall. But still, he has to walk quite far, so he's going to lose some minions in mid.
Interesting.
Losing minions. Caliste is struggling in bot lane.
Caliste is suffering, bro.
Interestingly, he's just going to walk all the way back and sacrifice some CS here, put himself 300 gold.
Trying to push Jarvan away, bro.
His plate, I believe, also, yes, did go over.
It's hard, guys. The match of bot lane is miserable for Caliste Criminal.
Sneaky little trap hidden behind the turret.
Caitlyn's going to base here for BF, maybe.
Not going to be dead as a result of that one, but as everything sort of settles and waves reset, it is still 2 waves in advantage here for Smash as well as all.
I like the fact that both Gnar and Cassie have swiftness.
Magically journeying over, does miss the cosmic binding.
Good value.
And is now just going to take a lot of damage from these twin fangs on the return.
ShowMaker has been immovable here on the mid lane. Respect to him, bro.
For now.
He's gotten ganked and pressured so much this game.
They do have scrubs have been started.
Siwoo with an R-bar here. I think Dplus should have control of this, and KC should just
Yike just wants to smite one, but they push him out before anything gets low, and Yike has to flash. Ezreal's top, Olaf into Caitlyn. Good lane assignments here though for KC. They will get some breathing room.
Winning every single lane and utilizing that pressure so well. Smash should know that Canna is here. So unless Canna does a crazy undertow, maybe could force the flash.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Not going to be invested either. Shorts the undertow.
Jesus.
Career.
You know, this is the amount of psycho that you need to play AD at the highest level, bro.
Very, very tightrope walk there. From
a lot of things just barely not hitting.
Yeah, very, very scary moment there, but he will be fine. No punish. Dragon still in the mix here, and finally it looks like Yike is going to have enough control to start this one up with the control they have in mid with kyeahoo. Career's going to try to go suss it out.
He's stopping this Drake stacking from the Caitlyn Lux.
I think Olaf is so OP in this fight, so the lane assignments are very nice for the Drake, but Canna just lost all of his HP. Oh no, Caliste criminel, Caliste criminel. Oh, Casey is collapsing. It's a disaster, mate.
Down to sub 100. Canna is basically dead as he's going back to base. Very brave as Yike is going
Casey's so lucky that people lived.
And somehow
Caliste got killed by the ace.
It's an absolute disaster for KC. They get solo killed on top. They're not having the damage to deal the Drake. As we see how Siwoo was able to pick up this solo kill. He dodges the Qs from Caliste. He has the damage.
Oh, the swoop back. Caliste had to flash that.
Supposed to signify you got me or I got away, but it was on the edge. And either way, it's
damn, so close.
KC fans, the result.
KC, just look outmatched so far, guys.
There. And in the moment, in the bottom lane there, the double root was just the cherry on top. It meant guaranteed there was no way KC
I think that the
fight, but
judging that Gnar ult can't clip you is not crazy.
So incredibly low that he wasn't taking an ace in the hole, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I love that Siwoo is 100% everything contribution as far as kills and deaths. A solo that went
my boy Yike has been... you know, in KC's journey at this tournament, I feel like Yike has been kind of a non-contributor. Besides the occasional, like, great smite.
And keeping on pushing. We'll have that Trinity Force completed relatively soon. As chasing down Canna, I mean, this is the thing. It's the all-in that Siwoo needs to be very, very careful of. But otherwise, should be in a good spot.
I have to say, bro, ShowMaker didn't get killed at all, farming evenly.
But the fact that they haven't been able to get anything off of ShowMaker flashing early game, get any sort of lead for kyeahoo, despite it, feels really bad for KC. They're bleeding on bot lane. The top matchup, while Canna got the solo kill, he's still getting pushed in. There's no lane for Yike to play through. And it just feels like KC's outclassed across the board as Caliste gets chunked once again.
Opportunity here for Yike, potentially. He is here faster. They have the magical journey. Smash, make it punish.
Yeah, Arcane shift forward. There's the ulti from Yike to close the distance, and down goes the Caitlyn. No response. Tempered fake and hold in place.
Okay.
Lucid Singularity is down. The Cosmic is somehow missing. That light binding just gorgeous.
Okay. All right, KC, you've been awakened.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, and Busio will follow suit on the bottom side of the map. Still, KC come out on top with that extra kill, but there is the flag and drag bringing Lucid over.
Wait, you win this, no, Yike? The champion's OP. Holy, the dogs took the whole binding.
This fight going until Korea makes its way over. But it looks like kyeahoo not going to be helping out as ShowMaker making his life annoying. Man, this one is so much closer than game one.
Yeah, Busio, great Bard portal there to finally break the formation of DK and actually open up this game.
They killed Smash, which is huge.
Getting a lead now. Canna getting the solo kill.
I hate how inconsistent the dogs are, you know, in terms of blocking spells and not blocking spells. I feel the same with the least spiderlings.
And get push in top. I feel like looking at Yike's game plan, you can see how far down in CS he is on Lucid. Lucid is playing so well around.
Caliste baited out Siwoo's flash so Canna could get another solo kill. Genius.
Yike needs his teammates to actually help him out in this game.
I don't want to say it's a drop in the bucket. It's a significant pick, but doesn't overall change the game state here on the bottom side. Smash is still going to pick up first brick here. We'll have this massive push, so you slow slowed it down, but it's not going to actually ultimately be a massive game changer in the early parts of this one. As we're going to see exactly what went down here is you hit an undertow, you got the ghost available, pressing R. This time he's got it. Siwoo just cannot escape. It's getting run down. The more significant play, though, I think, was that kill in the bottom. And like you said, finally Yike is able to get a punish on this pushing Caitlyn. The follow-up, though, from Career trying to catch him backfired in a big way. So it's one step forward, one step back for KC on the bottom side of the map. At least this Olaf is huge because someone's going to have to get backline access. And he's going to be the one. He's going to be the one running towards Smash. And ShowMaker with impunity in these late games.
Anivia, bro, he's been practicing against
someone
Caps.
Needs to kill the back line because Caliste
European
is
Anivia DNA to go runs hard, bro.
Where Smash and Caliste are both just able to do their damage. Smash is going to do way more, especially with Career landing the Cosmic Bindings. He's ahead as well. Got that Shirelius. And ShowMaker, while he's completely equal, he should be able to start getting ahead now with the pressure from Lucid with how strong this Jarvan is into the Anivia.
Yeah, and these undertows really do need to land. With done, it just gives you so much extra.
The Ezreal disadvantage needed to be represented.
Man, Career is having one heck of a day.
You know,
today.
it needed to, the value of it needed to be represented in the mid situation.
And executes Busio in this one. 0-2 now for the Bard, unfortunately, and more
Busio trying to break rules, but
danger. These three grubs putting in work alongside
I don't know.
the Caitlyn.
I have to question the Naafiri lock-in. I'm still on that train, you know.
Deft and the way he used to use Caitlyn, which
I have to say, I'm still on that train.
The entire game long.
The Naafiri and Bard want to play like a completely different game.
Yike now going to take a bit of damage through the doggers. Going to need to press W to grab those ones back, but ShowMaker and Yahoo.
I just really felt, I don't know, the 1-2-3 was so strong, but it just added so much risk. At least Olaf is paying off, right? Olaf is really strong here.
On the top side, ShowMaker gets here first. If they are going to commit those, I don't think they will. I think this one is just a done deal with all the mid prio right now. Dplus are in such a good spot. If KC hard force and lose this fight, it might be the end of the game for them.
KC just don't have a lane.
Maybe this was the game to just pick Wukong or something like this. Even though I'm a Wukong hater.
If they can stall out the Mega Gnar from Siwoo,
could be a big deal. I do think that Canna is going to be the most important part. There's the Tempered Fate catching onto the Jarvan. Not a lot of follow-up there, though, as Career demanding that Arcane shift out of Caliste.
The problem is the lanes. KC recognized the fact that DK are pushing both mid and bot. If they're going to get the Dragon, it needs to be
what's strong about Ezreal is that if KC is in a fight right now, Ezreal is more useful than
Case. Something they shouldn't have, as DK were the
that's the strength of Ezreal. That he in this game will be more useful. Like Kate Lux, there's not a lot of lanes that win against Kate Lux. The enemy is picking really heavy, deep cuts to win the lane. And then the question is, will Lux be just a lot less useful than Bard? Bard is scaling like a crazy mofo in this game, you know?
First of all, I liked Canna's flank there, kept the Gnar honest, prevented Siwoo from looking for an over-the-wall engage there, but it also meant that Dplus realized there's a level of volatility in this fight, which gives a potential, if KC outplay there, for them to get back in the game, and they're just willing to give one elemental to
But if you don't get value out of the Bard in the early game, your Naafiri gains nothing by having, like Lux was bot lane perma, and Lucid is still coming out of the early game ahead, right?
Yeah, being able to fight away from the Olaf.
That's the issue. But still now, what's strong about Ezreal is that he's equally useful to the cake. kyeahoo being in river, there's the heal, Cassio with the flash, petrifying gaze. Lucky for KC nobody was turned towards him. DK playing with so disciplined. Where did this DK come from? They walk away, take the mid, play position.
They're just going to get the turret and then they're going to come over here and try to stop this. Lucid is on this left side angle, can actually get in so easily on this Jarvan.
Light Binding comes in, connects onto Canna. He doesn't press the Ragnarok button just yet, as the Ghost has been used to start this one off. Yike gonna have to get out of there. Mega Gnar
Dplus Kia
for Siwoo to make sure that this Rift Herald goes over to Dplus. And the pressure just continues to mount on the shoulders of KC.
Okay.
And DK are just bearing down on them.
Yeah, DK is just looking better, bro.
And the way that they can just
they're looking better.
KC the engage. KC are the ones with the Ezreal.
I have to say, I just don't like the Naafiri, man. The Naafiri, you gotta be really good to pull off a Naafiri in this game, I think. Really good.
Tanky, Lucid is tanky, Siwoo is tanky. So as long as Smash and Career are not the ones getting hit, as now, Yahoo looks like he might be dead. Got some friends coming though.
Yeah, Cataclysm comes in. They're gonna have to grab this egg as soon as possible. There's the auto attack to do it. And he can no
Nice
longer
EQ
move.
through on the same flag.
Very stationary target.
ShowMaker's just drifting here, but here comes Olaf.
Keeping himself alive though, and now Canna bearing down with these axes. Lucid is going to be his next victim. And okay, never mind. He's just going to take the Shelly exit.
He's going to send it into mid.
Towards this mid lane.
Yeah, he's going to come in and try to, well, I said try
Never
to.
mind.
Get into the mid lane there and look to actually push that towards that inner turret. All the while, it is going to be a whole turret taken here on the top side. I think that was the right play from KC, though. You got to look for stuff like this. You cannot just sit back and go, oh, we lost control. We're just going to play it slow and safe here because this composition isn't going to scale up. When you see kyeahoo get caught here, you got to just full send on defending him. You got to play through egg. You have the egg here, so you actually have some additional time, even though Caliste can't get here. And ultimately, did this really work? Did they get a ton of control back? No, but they got to go Olaf in here. They get a kill. This Olaf is going to be their late game win con. It's going to be a really hard path to get there, but at least they get something back.
This is the finals, yeah. What did you miss?
Is wiped out.
Once again,
how am I supposed to explain this to you, son?
By the way, the Ragnarok wears
Impossible. What did you miss?
Like,
You
I
missed
can't
everything.
hit the light binding on a stationary target, let alone timing it perfectly through a wall.
I just feel like KC are so weak apart from Canna. Like, you see that fight, and there's like no damage on ShowMaker until Canna gets involved. And the problem is, if Canna wants to continue evolving himself in these plays, Siwoo is going to take those towers so incredibly fast. He has 3 grubs, has the Trinity Force,
Food
and
is
a
too
fed
hot.
Gnar is going to be even more difficult for KC to eventually have to deal with.
It's so weird that you say Fed now when he's been solo killed twice.
But he is just getting so much time. I'm
You know, you're absolutely right, and that's what makes it so weird.
Because it's pseudo 3-carry comp. It's not quite the 3-carry we saw with the Tristana in game 1, but he's going to be a side lane threat. He's going to be difficult to answer. And so a lot of resources will have to be spent if Dplus continue controlling this map, which right now they're doing such
Canna's had a great game.
Here starting to challenge the camps of Yike.
But it seems like it's not going to be enough.
He's a full level up.
I think this Naafiri is so useless, guys. This Naafiri is just not useful at all.
Uses Mikhails to keep himself alive.
Close game 1 like DK played better and they had the better draft. What are you eating?
Like every
fried chicken.
Of KC is outmatched by DK.
What do you have picked instead of Naafiri?
Forcing Yike out. You see Career
honestly,
forcing Busio out. KC really
fucking
needs to find
Sejuani, bro.
to get a numbers advantage somewhere, but it's a very similar
straight up Sejuani,
where they don't have one lane that they can actually play through. All the lanes are getting pushed in, so they need to channel that creative energy that we saw from game 1 to be able to find a pick using the Tempered Fate, using a teleport flank, or just some other creative avenue.
It's a 2 Drake game at 20.5 minutes. And Dplus are going to get this 3rd one, but I don't think this is one that KC should fight over. Another potential angle here for KC when their Ezreal is, at 21 minutes here, not even on that 2nd item spike. I think you just have to play slow. I think you have to play through Canna being the raid boss. You have to play through Canna being the one and follow up on that. Try to zone with your Anivia wall and not try to play a traditional team fight, but just play an Olaf team fight later on in this game.
I also think showing how much control DK have of this game is the fact that they just did Dragon, and KC's cross map was 1 plate on top.
Hey, at least they got a plate on top.
At least they got a plate.
And got a little bit of respite with the wave being pushed out or 2. That's certainly helpful. Canna on the bottom side of the map as well.
Maybe not Sejuani, I don't know.
At the same time.
Maybe if Naafiri just need to get value, you know? Like, if you pick Naafiri in this game and you have Bod, you better fucking invade. You better have value, but I don't know, DK defended so well.
Pushing KC around here in this mid lane. Lucid looks for an angle as well.
DK is just playing well, honestly. It might not be Naafiri, like, they couldn't find any angles in. He couldn't find any ganks on mid, couldn't find...
Would have to evacuate. If you try to look for picks with this KC comp, it's not the Camille comp we had in game 1, right? Sure, they have a Naafiri, they have a Bard that can maybe split a team fight in half, but you're just not at the power level right now to actually win said fight, even if you have the numbers advantage. So I think they didn't play passively, but if you play passively, you just get pushed out the map. It's a losing game almost no matter what choice you make.
I do think, though, when you look at the items, this is really the timing that KC should look to fight, because it's 2 items across the board for pretty much every player.
I agree with Jack here.
Then now
it's a very important window in the game, but I don't know how they force anything.
So I think
DK have been so patient. So patient.
But it's really difficult to see how they do that.
Yeah, what tools do they really have besides a wall and a potential Bard ultimate? Because Dplus are playing grouped. They're actually following each other, not sending someone super deep in the side. And when they know KC are grouped elsewhere, that's when Siwoo pushes aside, right? Or vice versa. ShowMaker, right now the 1-3-1 is working a treat, and KC Got a blast cone here to maybe try to play with onto ShowMaker. Maybe that's your best angle, but he's got this board here. He's got pushed. It's hard to catch anyone, and if he takes you too long, then all of the rest of Dplus rotates up, which is exactly what's happening right now. So ShowMaker's just chilling. Here comes Lucid.
Yeah, because DK can just continue pushing in mid. So as long as that 5-10 second timer the side laner respects, DK can always cover that side. That's why KC needs to find someone misstepping, be really, really decisive on that play.
Oh, maybe a bit of an angle here. There's Yike coming on over, but they do manage to get the shield out for Korea, helping Lucid stay healthy. So KC moving on over now. True Shot Barrage connects onto Smash. They get that position. Flash out of the way of the Tempered Fate is good. And Korea is now definitely going to be a juicy target here for KC.
So they utilize the timer there of having kyeahoo drop the top wave and moving straight. They get the flash as Canna looks for the solo kill.
Oh dear, a third one. Let's see whether he can make it happen. As yeah, this one's looking easier than the first two. Although
round
the
number
kite
3
comes down. There's the undertow.
That's the
and
third
he'll be
solo
able to
ball
lock
for
that one
Canna.
up. On the other side of the fight though, kyeahoo going down to the egg one more time. Would you like it scrambled, DK? That is the question. They got some time to think about it. As ShowMaker is going to be able to grab it.
Olaf has TP, but he has no ult, no ghost. He can't connect.
And that is
Caliste got a kill.
With a kill to his name as well. The Ezreal feeling better, and you mentioned it. This is the spike KC want to play around, and they get their fight.
Guys, I need help.
To see a replay. How did kyeahoo end up so deep in enemy territory?
I need help,
there?
guys.
Luckily, Lucid goes a little bit too deep,
so
and they're able to one-shot him as he goes in.
We bought some. Oh, after this team fight.
Okay. This looks good. This looks good.
Yeah, fishing for stuns.
He gets chained.
And then I think what I would have liked to see here for KC potentially is a TP from the Olaf. If Olaf TP's behind, maybe they could actually make something more of this. But he was so focused. He doesn't have his ultimate, obviously. Yeah. But I think even him being a body there on the other side could give him more of an opportunity, as this is the first-person view on the third solo kill here for Canna this game.
I feel like Canna, let's see how low he was. He finishes this
Last
fight
time we saw a top laner
HP.
solo kill 3 times, he lost anyway.
KC should just
Alright guys, help me.
Let Canna finally get
so we bought some fried chicken that was frozen, okay? Frozen. A bag of fried chicken frozen. We put it in our deep fryer, okay? The air fryer, sorry.
That wasn't the play from kyeahoo.
And bro, this chicken on the inside, what the fuck is that, bro? Is that normal, bro?
Yeah. So it is like...
What the fuck is that, bro? It's bloody as fuck.
It was nearly a 4,000 gold lead for DK. Now it's 2,000 with KC looking to pressure up top lane.
Definitely a big swing back in favor of KC. Still haven't done all of the work just yet as we crest the 25-minute mark. Baron been up for about 5 minutes time, but it's the 20-second timer on this Chemtech Dragon. That'd be soul point for DK. Busio almost just dead. There's the ace in the hole. Almost dies from that one as well. And all right. Oh, there's the final spark. Sometimes the emotes come too soon as Korea puts him down.
Korea just capping him in this game. He is destroying him.
This is probably Korea's best game. I haven't seen
a performance
out of this guy like this for a really long time.
It's crazy. You know, we could argue a little bit of a mistake there from Busio
was just trying to get vision, bro.
He just keeps hitting these bindings. The headshot comes through.
The Caitlyn is online. Like,
this is crazy.
Doing so much damage. KC,
I didn't need anything.
Want to win a fight, they need to focus Smash down, because otherwise he will tear down their team apart.
And this is just a free dragon here for Dplus. I mean, look at the map. There's just no way in. KC don't want to give this up, but they don't have a choice. Caliste also in a bit of a bad spot here.
Yeah, Peacemaker does not find the target.
Big
There's
bottles.
the Fate to keep them at bay. Shiu now looking for
Yike. Getting jumped.
Mega. Up towards his top side as well. Yike gonna have to flash out as old and just barely not able to get in there. But ShowMaker turns up, and Yike realizes, I'm just gonna have to hold forward. Unfortunately, you're going straight into the petrifying gaze as kyeahoo is getting surrounded. Canna shows up though. Do they have the DPS to deal with this Olaf? That is the question. He does put the chicken in a cage, and ShowMaker is going to come over and sink those fangs in. And now,
that's game. I feel like that's also probably serious, if I'm going to be honest.
Because he has his friends here this time.
Yike had a very hard tournament, I think. I know he's in the finals, but my man Yike got carried, bro. I think outside of that Wukong engage he did,
outside
of the Wukong engage he did in game 3 against T1,
singed.
I feel like Yike has not been online.
Much map control. As Busio hung around for a moment here, but likes being alive, and we'll just let
Fair play to DK though. I think DK is fucking clean, by the way.
Back one more time.
Outside of the ace this game, who got solo killed so many times.
We go back to this initial setup here.
Yeah, DK has silenced the crowd here. Yike wants to try to dive Siwoo, but he's just so weak. He can't actually fight him 1v1. Siwoo recognizes the bluff. ShowMaker knows that Yike needs to go onto him, lands the petrifying gaze, and now Canna's TPing in, but what can an Olaf do here?
He can't do anything because his DPS is gone, right? kyeahoo is still early days here and very vulnerable in this fight, and the Ezreal is in the mid lane. Can't get access, has no cryo into the Caitlyn, and is just pushing the wave as he's cheering in the mid lane. Well, there's nothing he can do. He drops a true shot to try to snipe Siwoo, but he's unsuccessful. And Dplus, by the way, instead of letting their top laner get caught there and avoiding the fight and getting a dragon, they win the fight, then they get the dragon, so now they have soul point. They got wins on both sides of the map. We'll see if Siwoo can escape here.
Oh, well, I think this one's going to be a difficulty because just one Olaf has been a problem so far. Does have Mega Gnar coming up, though.
It's tanky now. They don't want to overcommit because everybody's coming after the Drake. Takes too long to kill him.
Gnar is able to get away. The dragon is taken. Soul point is claimed. And they're going to look to take down this turret as well, because I feel like that whole last section of play had nothing to do with Smash, who is now like 3.5 items. This Caitlyn is ludicrously strong.
Yeah, that was pretty much a team fight without Smash. That was all ShowMaker and Siwoo. So now, if Smash gets involved, it's going to be so much more difficult for KC.
Oh, Lucid just going to put them into the Cataclysm. Final spot comes down, but Lucid's in a bit of trouble. And now it's Smash's point of view. Takes down Busio first. There's the second as Yike goes down. He is put behind the wall, but the rest of DK are getting on in there. Siwoo, possibly a bit of an overextension.
I don't know what she was doing this game.
Back to his favorite thing, and that is dismantling
he's going to get away with it.
Of KC. Inhibitor turret goes down in the mid lane. ShowMaker chasing out Caliste on this top side, and there's the knockup from Lucid. The 1-2 punch of the mid jungle looking good as Dplus Kia are poised to pick up match point here at EWC 2026.
Dominance.
Yeah, that's the only word I can think of. It felt like DK had full control of this
ShowMaker
game
the MVP, bro.
time. Even though Canna got 2 solo kills, it didn't feel like KC ever really had a pressure point to play around to be able to find an advantage in this game. They're going to look to cancel the bases. The Temper Fate lands, but you can't really do anything.
Korea is looking to get out of the way of kyeahoo here. Goes down to
Olaf,
50%.
here he goes, here he goes. Canna banana, Canna banana.
Venus flashes away and gets the headshot down onto this Viking. Now Busio and kyeahoo, they are so incredibly low.
All these fights is just like Canna and 4 potatoes.
Like, someone asked, what would it take to reverse sweep?
He's not going to be able to do anything.
Dplus need to play like they did against KC.
In the last part of that fight, he spent so much time trying to whittle away in this early part of the skirmish. But look at the fight that KC are trying to take here. They have no control. Lucid's able to flash away, and then once again, you just can't deal with all of this damage coming out of Smash.
Yeah, I feel like DK can play the fight however they want because Lucid can tank the backline for 5 seconds, while it only takes 2 auto attacks for Smash to kill the backline and front line of KC. So it's so difficult to see an avenue for success for KC this game, because it just feels like they've been shut down every single play that they went for, every single lane that they went for, and DK have just been better throughout the whole game.
Just feels like suffocation here from Dplus Kia. Every answer seems to be there, from this Caitlyn Lux lane being so incredibly suffocating, and then the Olaf that has found so much success into the Gnar. 3 solo kills against the Gnar, and it just hasn't meant anything.
Why does Gnar have random Zomen? He doesn't have any better armor items to buy.
It wasn't successful.
Maybe Death Dance Gnar would be okay, honestly. But the issue is, like, as a range, it's weird.
The Gnar is so difficult to punish, even if you solo kill him. He's still going to be relevant in team fights later on. He spent so much of this game just hard farming.
Now we've got Dplus closing in on the base of KC that is already in shambles. Yeah, trying to avoid these noxious blasts. He's doing a decent job, but he is Anivia. He can clear out waves quite comfortably. There is no Baron left to help with this push. And they are at least able to deal with these minions for the moment. Miasma goes down though. Yike not very happy about that one, as there is a pesky Gnar just trying to knock down Nexus turrets here. And KC just kind of getting pulled around the map. The pressure is just not going away.
DK are doing what they've done so well all game, just playing it slow, suffocating KC, and not letting them have any avenue for an engage, play with the minions. The Tempered Fate, Busio is trying, but there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, and I mean, the super minions starting to hit.
This is the
these
most
turrets,
disciplined I've seen
running out of
Dplus,
time,
bro.
running out of health.
Last time I saw Dplus this discipline was when they beat T1 in winter, bro.
Back away and take Baron. Best case scenario, KC fumble the defense here, and they just lose the game right now.
Another inhibitor poised to go down here. But the rest of KC are starting to mount a little bit of an attack. ShowMaker fighting against Caliste. The ulti's interrupted.
Holy Lucid defends his boy. Canceling Yike's ult.
Dplus always there to have the
Damn, Lucid.
Now Siwoo is on Nexus turrets. Light bindings are flying through. Smash is just hitting the structures. And Canna might be CC immune, but he is not death immune. And now Siwoo's getting his revenge. Another final spark.
Murder She Wrote. I think DK is just playing so much better, guys. So much better. I see mid gap. I see jungle gap. I see support gap.
If they are ever going to win this series.
This is domination from the 5th place team of the LCK.
Canna, Edo help.
Could not get out of. They struggled to make sure they were out of Rise Group last year, but they are looking so much better this year around, and EWC